Hello there everyone and welcome to a new review on the channel, and today we're looking at something that came out quite some time ago and hasn't really gotten, I feel, the attention it deserves. I think it did get a bit of buzz when it came out, but it kind of died after, and that is BackFire by R. Paul Wilson. This is, I think, a really fun, brilliant, and engaging routine that deserves to get more kind of light shined upon it, especially because Penguin are well known for kind of re-promoting and reintroducing their older products. And this is one that surprisingly they have not. And I feel that it's, I could possibly do that for you guys. So I'm gonna be talking about BackFire today. Let's roll the intro and get straight into it. Perfect, so you decide to stick around, which means you want to learn more about BackFire. So what is BackFire? BackFire is essentially a 4-for-4 switch with a kickback at the end of aces and kings. That is essentially what the routine is. And I think the best way of me to explain it for you is with a performance. But I do want you to keep in mind that I don't have spectators here, and usually this is done with spectators either 2 or 4 holding a napkin, holding a cloth, holding something on which you can put you can have like a mini stage that's elevated. And because I don't have that, I'm gonna have to do the routine as if I was going under the table. But keep in mind that is not how the routine is supposed to look, but it is the only way that I can achieve it without blatantly flashing, because you do need a bit of cover no matter what. But essentially you would remove from the deck, and I think I'll do this a bit standing up, you would remove your cards from the deck, and you tell your spec that you're gonna do something here with the 4 aces and with the 4 kings, and you can clearly show that as well. And then you ask your spectators to choose, do they want the aces or the kings? Let's say in this case they say the aces, so you say, okay, the aces. So we're going to take the aces and we're going to deal them down right here. So normally this would be on like the tablecloth or whatever, and then you tell them that you're left with the kings. And what you're going to try and do is you're going to go underneath the tablecloth and you're going to try and switch the cards, the kings, with the cards that they now have. So then you would proceed, you'd show the kings and you'd go here underneath the tablecloth, you'd switch the first one for theirs, you'd go underneath again, you'd switch the second one, the third one you just go switch like this, and the last ace is the most interesting one, is you would just go underneath the table with one hand, just like that, and you would switch it, and now you would have the 4 aces here, which means that in their hand, which they've been holding the entire time, they would now have and when they look, they actually have the aces, because you in your hand actually have the 4 kings. And then they could have these out for examination, they could look at them if they want, and of course they could have the kings as well if they would so wish, and everything here can be inspected, can be handled by the spectator. So that is kind of a performance of it. I know it's not a good one because, again, the table I have is really high, so I had to go down. We didn't have the kind of stage that you make with this routine that you have to make it more visual and fun. You don't have the audience interaction. But I do think that you understand what the routine is. It's a switch of kings for aces and then a kickback between the two. So that's essentially what this will allow you to achieve, okay? So now that you know this, let's talk about where you buy this, how much does it cost, and what do you get. So you can buy this from Penguin Magic. It is, I believe, only available there. You can buy it for Penguin Magic for $25.99. And what you get with your purchase is this. You get this magnetic packaging, just like this. Inside, you're gonna get your instructional video, which is 30 minutes long, which goes over the history, live performances, and everything that you need to know about the effect and how to perform it. And then you also get your gimmicked cards, which are 4 cards that are gimmicked. They're very gimmicked, so I don't think these are cards that you can make up yourself at all. They're very gimmicked cards that they don't have a back design. So you can use this with any deck that has this kind of standard ace, like ace and faces if you want. So these are that's nice as well, is that you can use it with other decks of cards, and that is what you get with your purchase. So first, let's now talk about difficulty. How difficult is this routine to perform? This routine is relatively easy to perform once you get the flow of it, because this is just a real flow state routine. So once you get the flow of the routine, it is very easy. Once you know the moves and kind of the way it works, it is going to be very simple to do, and you will not have any problem whatsoever. There's not any double lifts, triple lifts, or anything like that. It is very much all happening underneath the cover of the stage that you're creating and underneath the cover of really clear misdirection that is really well motivated. So that's kind of how the routine goes. And yeah, it's pretty simple. It's very not that hard, and I think that is achievable by pretty much anyone that just handles cards a bit. You could do this routine, no problem. In terms now of practicality, this is also very practical because all you have to carry around is, if you carry around the deck anyway, you would carry around the deck. You place your 4 gimmick cards inside the cellophane of the deck or anywhere that you want in your wallet. And when you want to do this routine, it just takes a small setup of finding the 4 kings and the 4 aces and then going into the routine, and that is it. So yes, it does require a small setup, but carrying capacity wise, just a normal deck and your 4 gimmicks. In terms of reset, the reset of this is relatively quick. If you want to see, this is how fast this would reset. So I have these then would go like this, and these would go like this on here. Let me just that. And now I'm reset to go to the next table and perform the routine if I would want to. So that's how quick it resets. The reset is quick. It is also examinable because of the nature of how the trick ends. It is also examinable, so the cards can be examined. The deck is a bit dirty, but you know, you do hand the cards with like good motivation, so they should be able to inspect everything. The routine is repeatable. You can repeat it how many times you want. The angles of the routine, I'd say, are close to 360. They're very close to 360. I'd say as long as no one is looking like from the bottom, you're pretty good regarding angles. And yeah, one thing that you need to know is that you need someone to hold something for you. So you need like a small stage. You don't necessarily need a table. You can still do it with a table, right, as I did, but I still think the idea of that he has holding a handkerchief or anything just makes the routine better. So you do have to prepare mentally that you would need to have that at your venue in order to do this in the best way possible. Lastly, what is the performance venue? So where do you perform this? So this is something that I feel works pretty much anywhere. I think this would be really cool in a parlor setting. I think this would work very well in close-up settings or table hopping settings because it's a very quick, flashy, and eye-catching routine. I think this could be played pretty much anywhere you do your card magic. I think you could do this, and it's very also involving with the spectator. They get to hold stuff, they get to experience stuff, they get to touch stuff, turn stuff, inspect stuff, and it's very, very fooling in the way that it is designed. So having said all of this, what are the positives and negatives of BackFire? So let's start out with the negatives. One is that you will end dirty no matter the way that you end the routine. It is not something that you cannot get away of. As I said, the cards at the end are inspectable, right? But you are a bit dirty at one point, so you do have to keep that in mind. However, another negative that you also have with this is sometimes if someone burns your hands a bit too much, they may see or catch on to the method a bit prematurely, but I still think that the kickback will kick them in the teeth if that is something that you're worried about. But having said that, what are the positives? One, the packaging is great, the gimmicks that you get are great, the instructions are great, the routining of this is top-notch, it's relatively easy to do, it's practical, is a worker that you can do from table to table, and I just find that the premise and the moments of this routine are very fooling and very interesting as well. So I think it has a lot of good going for it. Wrapping everything up with a bow tie, what would I give this out of 10 and would I recommend it? So would I recommend BackFire? And my honest answer is yes. I honestly would recommend BackFire. I think if you do card magic, this is something that you would definitely enjoy using, definitely enjoy performing, and I think that is going to be very fun for you to own and do. So yes, I do recommend this if you do card magic. What do I rate it out of 10? I'm rating BackFire by R. Paul Wilson an 8.75 on 10. It is very, very good, and for the money, I think it's a routine that you're gonna get a big mileage from. So yeah, 8.75. Thank you very much again for watching, liking, and subscribing. As always, if you have any questions, leave them down below. If not, I'll catch you all in my next video. Have a great one, and bye-bye.